This is where we can curse. Cool.
I brushed my beard real fast for nothing.
Something not happening.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to OBS Forgets My Audio Settings again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to another episode of Vampire the Masquerade Walking Shadow. I am your executive producer here at Final Show Films, John, and I turn it over to our storyteller for the evening, Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I am the storyteller for this Vampire the Masquerade chronicle set in the city of Seattle in the world of darkness. And to kick things off tonight, let us once again reintroduce you to our cast, starting with Raphael.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Raphael. I play Lysander, the Ravnos Rogue, aka the Hopeless Romantic.
Hey, and Mara.
I'm Mara. I play Velma, the Nosferatu.
William.
I'm William, and I play Alexander, the Toreador Rogue.
We also have Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm playing Naomi, the Malkavian
Oracle?
seer, maybe?
Seer?
The Malkavian
yeah,
Oracle / tactician. Let's
yep.
do it.
Yeah, that.
And John.
I'm John, and I'm playing Gabriel Adelmar, the Tremere Warlock. And thank you to Cat Waterflame for 255 bits at the top of the show.
Woo!
Yeah, Cat.
Yeah, kicking us off right. The empty chair you see on your screen is Michelle, who plays the other Toreador, Isla, and she will be rejoining us once life has calmed down slightly for her.
Okay. So really quick, before we start, let's just make sure. Tremere Warlock, Ravnos Rogue, Toreador Rogue, what's it called?
You're just pointing at the
Malkavian.
screen. No one
I know,
can tell
because
you.
I'm pointing at what I see on Skype. Malkavian tactician. Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, Disney princess.
Okay, there we go. Nosferatu, Disney princess, and Toreador arm candy. Just to clarify.
Yes.
Glad we figured all of that out right before the apocalypse. Would be so bad for the world to end while we still don't know what's
what everybody's
what our
not
titles are.
technically existent character classes are.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am very much the social rogue. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. But last
I'm the
time,
edgy rogue, but yeah.
you guys were following up on some of the information that you had gathered. The net around whoever's been behind these murders in Seattle is starting to draw closed. You've been able to deduce that there are connections to Western State Hospital down in the town of Lakewood, south of Seattle. There are still remnants and hints that there may be something happening in Green Lake area towards the northern end of the city. And you consulted, Isla and Gabriel specifically, consulted with Jimmy, who was your go-to contact for this investigation ever since things got started, to talk about potentials and possibilities, where to go next, where to look for information, and who you have to be most worried about in the Camarilla in the city. But currently, as the moon reaches its apex in the nighttime sky, with the occasional errant beam piercing these ragged clouds that are shrouding the city tonight, both the living and the dead have emerged to stalk the streets of Seattle once more. And we left Lysander last, standing in a neighborhood to the northeast of Green Lake, looking for a bus that had departed the neighborhood, in his mind, possibly bearing his missing sire and the love of his life and undeath, Diana. You've been able to determine just from a quick scan to your phone that this bus route runs south and then terminates in the University District near University of Washington. Your vehicle is on the other side of Green Lake, probably about a 10-minute walk away. And just a couple blocks from you, although you're not technically currently aware of this, Velma is crouched in the shadows with a predatory nighttime raptor, an owl, feeding out of her forearm. So what are the two of you planning to do from this point forward?
Well, Lysander is not walking. He's currently sprinting to his car to get in it and drive as fast as he possibly can to get to that bus or to get to the location of the bus's last stop and try to trace up from there. So we can find Diana.
All right. Give me a stamina and athletics, difficulty 6.
Okay.
Just to see what sort of time you make.
0 successes.
Okay.
Oh.
So it takes you about 5 or 6 minutes to get back to your vehicle.
Okay.
In the meantime, the bus has, of course, already gotten on the interstate. Obviously, it's not going to have any stops until it gets off the interstate, which you're able to determine where that location is. But it's got a good lead on you at this point. But you're going to drive away. Velma, you're feeding an owl out of your arm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's your next step?
Well, the owl doesn't know where to go next because it lost this person, and they got in a car, and I can't drive, so I'm probably heading back.
Okay. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
yeah.
headed back where? To where the
Back,
vehicles?
So I left Gabriel, I remember, by a bench, I think, back in Green Lake Park.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably heading back there.
Okay.
I think my camera just messed up.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Certainly turned off, yes. And it's
There we go.
I'll probably, I guess I should text. I give a big sigh and I start texting. Let's see. Tried following the. I don't know. Tried following the owl. Hit a dead end. Heading back. Keep it
Okay.
short.
All right. So, and are you sending that to the group text or to anybody in particular?
Yes, the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that will come through on everybody's phones right about now.
Okay. Yep.
But as everybody is beginning to sort of spread throughout the city, covering their various bases and that sort of thing, one of you is not moving very much. And that would be Naomi. Naomi, you are still outside Western State Hospital currently. But in this sort of spiritual astral plane that you've figured out that you can transfer your consciousness to, the multi-eyed crows are still flocking in clusters in their various trees. You still get those whispers and susurrations from inside the structure. The little fractal spirits of whatever entity tends to inhabit this place are continually maneuvering back and forth and occasionally clustering around you temporarily before following whatever pattern or logic they conduct themselves via. What are you up to in terms of your time that you're spending on the exterior?
I'm going to try using my aura sight to sort of scan these little things, and also I want to see, like, Naomi's thinking of this like, okay, I'm where the ghosts are, so maybe I can use the thing that lets me see the ghosts to see the place that I would typically be. She has no idea if that's how it actually works at all, but she wants to try it.
Okay. And are you focusing specifically on one of these entities, or are you kind of just trying to get the entire
If there's one
area.
that's particularly close to me, I'm probably going to focus on that one, at least to start.
Okay. Perception, empathy, difficulty 8, reduced as needed.
Three. 8 successes.
Nice.
All right. So there's one of these, sort of fist-sized little fragmented, fractalized entities nearby. And you narrow your eyes, or what you assume your eyes to be on this plane of existence, and focus in on it. There is a grayish, light greenish sort of tone to it, but that's almost completely overwhelmed by the pattern and motion and movement of these alternating colors. It's rapid in these sort of swirling, almost concentrically turning, orbiting layers of light gray, green, or light green, gray, light gray, green, mixing back and forth. They ripple, and it's almost hard to tear your spiritual sight away from this thing. It's got an almost mesmerizing quality to it. Much more extreme than you've ever seen on any other aura that you've ever read.
So, does this have any traits that would link it to a specific, for lack of a better term, species in my mind? Like, does it feel vampiric or ghosty at all?
It does not. No, it's you're not familiar with what these things are specifically. You recognize the earmarks, the qualities that are communicated by both the colors and the patterns in the aura. If you had to say whatever it is a deeply distilled, highly concentrated entity of just plain old good-fashioned insanity.
I see why it wants to be my friend.
Yeah.
So you said light gray and green?
Light green and gray.
Ah. Okay. I don't even know if this is gonna work, but I really want to try it now.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and use Dimension to calm it down.
Okay. So you're using your first dot.
Yeah, passion.
Blunting the emotions. Okay. Give me a charisma and empathy difficulty 9.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work, but I really want to try. One success.
One success. All right. So there's this very brief moment where those two primary colors suddenly shift to kind of a lighter blue. That ripple and hypnotic swirl doesn't change at all. But for just a little bit of a moment, there's a brief shift in the hue of the aura, and then it reverts back to its original. As it does so, during that one intervening moment, where before it was kind of floating and maneuvering erratically, almost like a butterfly does, where there's sort of a chaotic pattern without much logic or predictability to its path, it freezes motionless in midair in front of you, before again reverting to that sort of jittery orbital flight that it's been exhibiting before. And the whispers again start up.
So, I'm sorry, remind me, it's been 2 weeks. I'm outside of the hospital. Is there anything out here beyond the sign and the woods? Like,
not much, no.
Naomi's gonna, even if it doesn't seem like it, she's gonna try and scan around, see if there's like, once again, she's kind of going by dream logic. Like discarded items, someone left something out here.
Okay.
Missing left shoe, that sort of broken doll, that sort of thing.
Right. Give me a perception and investigation, difficulty 8, reduced as needed.
I always wonder how those left shoes get on the side of the road. Only ever one shoe.
Yep.
5 successes.
Okay.
It's truly a vampire.
So you kind of drift yourself down closer to ground level and begin to look from side to side, trying to see if there's any sort of items or clues or hints as to how this dimension works, or any debris or discarded objects left behind. The one thing you do find is a key. It's kind of like an old brass key with a very long barrel on it, couple teeth at the end. Probably about almost 6 inches long. Fits in your hand. And there's a you know those pull chains that you use to turn on a light bulb in somebody's basement? There's one of those kind of looped around it, but not attached to anything around the handle.
6 inches long. It's not a key, it's a knife.
It's not sharpened.
Reach out, Spirit's Touch.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a...
Perception
give
plus
me a
empathy.
perception and empathy. Difficulty is going to be 8 for this one, not reducible.
Okay. 0 successes.
Okay. Yeah,
but not a bunch.
Right. You pick it up, and there's a faint few images and essences and impulses that come from it, but nothing that you can really grab onto. It's like they slip through your fingers before you can actually draw any meaning from them. But it is a key, and as you pick it up, it does feel like it has some actual substance and weight to it in your hand.
Yep. Let's go looking for locks and or doors.
Okay. So there are a number of doors on the exterior of this structure. Give me another perception and investigation, reduced as needed this time, difficulty 8 again.
Two successes. Oh, wait. Reduced as needed, that would have been... that would have been 4, 5... 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have been 4 successes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, without too much difficulty, you pick up the key and you start looking. First 2 doors, obviously, they have actual, like, legit, regular-looking doorknobs to them. The kind that you would need, like, an actual house key, something much smaller and a little thinner to open. And then you find a basement hatch door, 2 panels shut with an old-fashioned kind of crystalline doorknob to it. Which usually you don't have doorknobs on basement hatches. And this one has a keyhole that looks like it would actually fit the key, probably about an inch below the doorknob itself.
All right. Do I still have the chain as well?
Mm-hmm.
Good. gonna try the key in the door.
Okay. So you slide the key in, and you go to turn it, and there's no give. It feels much more like there's just a hole here, and the key fits in the slot. But as you slide it in and attempt to turn, even though it doesn't rotate at all, the doorknob itself spins probably about 30 or 40 degrees with a click, and the doors both swing down and inward.
Okay.
Key is still in your hand. It falls away and out of the keyhole as the door descends, and it swings down into a black, still pool of water. You can see stairs going down into it.
Naomi's gonna see if she can spirit touch the water.
You dip your hand in, and as you do, you can feel sort of that coolness of the temperature change, but there's no wetness to it. So it's kind of water, but dry water.
Okay, because this is strictly a setting question. Can vampires go in water normally?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
Unless you have a
We don't need to breathe.
Nope.
Again, real world logic, not
Yeah, that's what I was
in
gonna say.
freaky mirror dimension.
At least read.
Let's hope we don't wake up any Jabberwocky. And gonna try and just walk down the stairs like they're
Okay.
normal stairs.
All right. So you begin to take your steps down into this lower level. And as the water rises, once again, you can feel the temperature change as your body begins to sink into and past this barrier. And as soon as your head goes under, there's a moment of sort of that water-filled, muted kind of sound. And then that all just sort of slowly fades away to feel a lot more of a normal kind of atmosphere. You can still feel a very faint level of pressure and coolness on whatever passes for your body in this realm, but as you proceed further down and in, whereas from the outside the water appeared extremely dark, as you go in, the lighting doesn't seem to change all that much. It's still that weird sort of diffused daylight level of illumination for the most part. But at least in your immediate area, but only about 6 or 7 steps further in, things are very shadowed and gloomy, and you start to be able to lose your perception of the outlines of things unless you really focus on them.
Are the little pieces still following me?
Yes. 1 or 2 of them.
Do they seem to be
Fewer,
responding
but
any
still.
differently to being here? Just
Not particularly, no.
because I'm trying to use every tool in Naomi's toolkit. She's gonna try and see if she can telepathically reach out and maybe interpret the whispers through that telepathy. Now that she's in a place without weird crows hanging around, because
Okay.
crows might overhear the telepathy, and that would be just rude.
That's fair. All right, give me an intelligence and subterfuge, difficulty 4.
Good, because I'm not actually good at this one. 1 success.
Okay. You reach out just towards one of the little fractal entities and try and pierce through to whatever passes for this thing's mind, assuming that it has one. And the only thing you get is a single whispered phrase. She knew it all along, and she was going to kill us. And then it slips away, almost like you're trying to grab on to something oily and resistant in nature, and your fingers just can't find purchase on it before it glides out.
Okay. Then, just gonna continue onward. Still keeping an eye to see if the response of my little friends changes ever.
Okay.
But
So you proceed downward, and the hallway seems to be made of some mixture of concrete and stone. Some of it fairly obviously built and designed, some of it almost seemingly more naturally occurring, rough in its dimensions. And there are doors that you begin to pass, a couple on each side at a time. They seem to lead further and deeper into whatever level of the hospital you're on. Give me a wits and occult roll, difficulty 7.
well, I'm better at that than I am at subterfuge, so. Or not. That's -1 successes, but not a botch.
Okay, not a botch. Okay, so you begin to just kind of wander around, looking at things, opening the occasional door. Some of them lead to rooms, some of them lead to hallways, and after about 5 minutes, you sort of realize that you've taken a few turnings. And normally, you keep very good track of your surroundings. You maintain a clear memory and recollection of where you've been and what you're looking for. That's not happening right now. You're not worried that you're lost per se, but if somebody poked their head in and said, "Where's the exit?" you'd have to guess. You couldn't actually just tell them.
Given things Gabriel has said, understanding he hasn't shared anything particularly sensitive, does that feel like a ritual thing to me? Or does it feel more like a perception alteration that would be kind of my thing, just a distortion of the mind to extend it?
It feels a little more like the second one. It could be something's wrong with your brain. It could be something's wrong with this place. But it doesn't feel like it's an intentional trap that was laid for you. It feels more like an innate quality of a thing.
Yeah. Because I do recall that we went to the Tremere Mansion and that had weird space dimensions, but different kind of weird space dimensions.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the interior has shifted or changed. It just feels like it's harder to keep track of things here. And my usual kind of proprioception, kinesthetic awareness is very, very different.
My usual stupidly high perception plus
eidetic memory.
Eidetic memory.
Yeah.
Not working. Okay.
Not functioning on all cylinders at this point.
Well then, Naomi's going. You said it's concrete floor?
Yeah.
Is going to sit down on the concrete floor and see if she can phase through it.
Okay. Give me a wits and actually a wits and empathy, difficulty 8. And you're trying to go down?
Yeah, I'm trying to sit on the floor and go down through the floor.
Okay. So you focus for a minute, just willing yourself down, and you can feel, it's weird, like most of the time when you've been flying around in this astral area, you simply think about where you want to go and you immediately start going there, usually very quickly. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit more resistance here, and you have to kind of shake yourself slightly and concentrate until the thought downward fully crystallizes in your mind. And then you can feel the sort of lurch, and yeah, you're pretty sure you moved. I mean, you're definitely in another room. for sure. And there's some candles here. There's actually a lot of candles here.
Damn it, Gabriel! Your fire fetish is annoying. She doesn't actually say that, but that's totally in the back of her head.
This ain't me.
Yes,
That was
logically
funny.
it's not you, but all right. Looking around. Candles, ritual format, base patterns, numbers.
So the candles, there are numbers, and it feels vaguely ritualistic. You're in a room, still kind of rough stone mixed with concrete, and you're almost in the dead center of it. And then spaced at equal points around you, in sort of like a 7-pointed star fashion, are a number of small tables. Probably what you'd call an end table or something like that, or a sideboard. And the one in front of you, there's a candlestick that holds 3 candles, all of which have been burning for a little while but are now extinguished. There's then to the next side of that one is one with 5, also extinguished. And then one with 1, extinguished. And you look around, and each of these, they're not distributed in order, but the only one that has any that are still lit on it is a candlestick that holds 7.
Yep.
And then one of those candles goes out.
Well, I am in an alternate dimension, and I don't even quite know how I got here, so I probably can't. Actually, being here and seeing this, do I get any intuition of how this might relate to geography, if it does at all?
Give me a wits and academics, difficulty 9.
One success?
Doesn't
2 of
feel
this
like
is sign language.
Yep. No, definitely not sign language. Doesn't seem to correspond specifically.
Yeah. Well, there are planes and metaphors that don't involve the city map type geography.
And another candle goes out.
Can I? Okay, once again, this is a general lore question about
Sure.
things, how they'd work in the normal world. Picking up a candle is not something a vampire can do, I'm assuming.
No, you can. You have to make a willpower roll, or spend a point of willpower, but
I'm gonna spend a point of willpower to try and pick up one of the candles. If I have to. Actually, she's gonna see if getting close she feels like she'll need that, because sunlight here doesn't seem to work the same way. Maybe fire doesn't either.
Mm-hmm. All right. In that case, roll me courage, difficulty 4.
Okay.
Alternatively, be Old Clan Shamasei, but that also isn't an option. Because they don't care.
No, they don't.
5 successes.
Okay. So yeah, you step up closer to it, and yeah, it doesn't really even feel like it's radiating heat at this point. So you're pretty sure you could pick this up without too much trouble.
Yeah, Naomi's gonna try and pick up a still lit candle.
Okay. Yep. You pick it up, pull it out of the candlestick.
She's kind of try and place it on a different table, one of the tables with 1. Like, swap out the candles.
Okay. While keeping it lit.
Yeah!
Give me a dexterity and Gotta say dexterity and athletics.
Oh, I was gonna go for dexterity and empathy because this is the person. Okay,
Well, if
dexterity and
you're trying to, no, dexterity and athletics, difficulty 7.
2 successes.
Okay. So you carry it over to one of the other tables. Any particular one, or just picking one at random?
2. The table
All
with
right,
2.
the one with 2. All right. You pull out one of the extinguished ones, and you set the other one in. As you do so, the one that you stick in the candlestick goes out, and the one you're holding in your hand alights.
Okay. So you said there's like a circle. Is there any sort of pattern, or is it just that they are in this?
No, they're
shape?
just arrayed. The tables are arrayed in a ring.
Okay.
And another one goes out. The one in your hand is still lit.
New plan. I'm going to try kicking over some of the tables.
Okay.
Take the forceful approach.
What
So-
would Alexander/Lysander/Gabriel do? Probably.
Let's
Let's try that.
How very Gabriel of you.
Right. So yeah, you-
Alexander would be knocking tables over.
Actually,
Lysander
Gabriel
would
would
just be
light
kicking
everything
over.
on fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
light the candles back.
Yeah.
so you kick one of the tables over, and it clatters and tumbles to the ground. The candlestick and the candles that were held in it scattering across the floor. You turn, you kick another one over. Similar thing. You turn back. The first one you kicked over is back standing up with the candles back in, still extinguished the way it was when you came in the room.
All right.
The puzzle
Are
resets
my friends
itself.
still here?
You don't know.
Okay. Naomi is going to hold the candle up to like the general vicinity that they have tended to hang out in.
Mm-hmm. You feel a shudder suddenly, like someone shook you, but there's nobody else in the room.
If you don't like being gone, they won't either. So help me with them. Help me stop this, save them. So everyone else isn't like what happened to you.
Are you talking to the candle?
I'm talking to the things that might not be there. But I guess
Okay.
I am generally talking in the direction of the candle and not trying to make the candle not hear what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Give me a charisma and expression. Difficulty 7.
Zero successes. Seriously, only one dot in expression? Okay.
So you talk to the you make this proclamation to the room, beseeching for assistance or aid. And then there's a beat of silence. Nothing seems to happen. The candle in your hand goes out.
That was not being particularly productive. We're trying to stop the murder ritual resurrection.
And you feel a tug on your silver thread.
Oh, well, I'm following that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Give me a intelligence and empathy difficulty 6.
And this is where Naomi dies.
That's fine. Two successes.
So you latch a hand sort of around your cord and begin to pull yourself back along your silver thread that tracks you back to wherever your entrance point, more or less, to this astral plane was. And you clamp down on it and focus your mind. And suddenly you blur straight through a wall, several walls, and then everything just goes white around you and your eyes snap open. You're back in your bed. And there's a smoldering candle in your hand.
Why do I get a feeling this isn't enough to disrupt it on its own?
And an empty blood pack on her chest.
I'm checking.
Yeah. There's
Yes,
a
there is
note.
also a empty unit of blood on your chest with a note on it that says there's more in the fridge.
You should also have some blood spots dripping down your face as well.
Yep.
Has
Yeah,
my
you can-
blood
you can-
pool been adjusted for however long it's been?
Yes, actually.
Then yeah, I'm going to the fridge.
I think there's, 5 more units still in there? And Alexander is sitting in the living room.
Ah, I see you're awake. How
I
long
wasn't
has
quite
she been out?
sleeping.
She's been out for about a day and a half.
Well, trancing or sleeping, whatever it was, you've been gone for well over a day.
I'm assuming you found the ritual murder basement.
I haven't been here for the last 2 sessions, so...
No, we haven't.
No.
Nope, you have not.
We found a ritual murder. We didn't find it in the basement.
No, we decided to leave.
we have
Naomi's
not.
going to grab out whatever canvas is nearest by that's generally empty and start sketching, trying to, just that room as it looked. As artistically accurate, not necessarily, diagrammy.
Okay.
But
Trying to basically accurately communicate the essence of the room.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You give
Still
me give me a wits and crafts difficulty 6. Still pretty fresh in your mind.
Also, I have eidetic memory, so hopefully
Yes,
it'll stay fresh for quite a while. 5 successes, 6 if this is neither of my specialties, so who am I kidding?
Okay. All right. In about 3 minutes, you've got an almost perfect, in your mind, recreation of what you saw down there.
Okay. So I went through the spirit world is in parentheses with a question mark next to it, and went to the same hospital the others were looking at or were planning to look at. I found a needle monster, crow not quite friends, static friends, and a ritual murder basement that corresponds to what's happening. The 7th act was presumably in progress, though time is different, maybe.
We will have to gather the others and see what we can link to this information.
Naomi's
I
going to
never
snap a picture of her art project and send that over text and then start reading all of the text that came in while she was asleep.
All right. Gabriel and Isla, you guys are in the process of leaving the jazz alley, having met with Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And as you begin to walk away, a waiter stops you briefly, holding up a hand, kind of approaching you, and holding something else in his other hand.
I'll hold.
Sorry,
out
who
a
is
hand.
this?
This is Gabriel and Isla. I'll hold out a hand.
He ignores you and looks at Isla. Delivery for you, miss.
Oh.
Well, my back.
All right.
And-
Thank you.
He hands you an envelope. Just a blank, kind of legal size envelope.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And she makes no move to open it right then and there, but kind
Sounds
of
good.
gives Gabriel a look, kind of like, we should probably get out of here somewhere where I can, look at
Well,
this.
we'll head to the car.
All right.
Okay.
So as soon as she gets in the car, she's not trying to hide anything from Gabriel, so she opens the thing and looks at it.
Okay. That will be showing up in your journal now in Roll20.
Okay. Let's see.
You definitely recognize the handwriting.
What's the title of it? I have a bunch of things in here, and I can't remember which ones I've looked at already.
It's called Another Note.
Another note.
You
Okay.
Note 3, Note 4, Note 7.
And another note. And another note. Just put more A's on and another.
I begin driving. Have I gotten text from Naomi at this point, or is that in the future still?
Right about now is when it's all sort of coming together. You're getting the text from Velma, and shortly after from Naomi.
It's just like my phone starts blowing
Naomi's
up
has no
while Isla's
explanation.
reading.
It's just that picture, but I assume the picture communicates the room reasonably well.
I
It's a-
text back to Velma. Lysander should still be up there. And I text back to Naomi, "What's this?" Question mark.
So while Gabriel is
Ritual murder basement. You should have found it. It was at the hospital.
while Gabriel is texting, Isla, opens the envelope, and as soon as she kind of sees what it is that she's looking at, she sort of, glances at Gabriel and becomes slightly more furtive about it, but almost in a theatrical way, like as though just in case anybody's watching her, kind of thing. She quickly folds the note back up, tucks it back in the envelope, and doesn't say anything about it to Gabriel. And that all happens while he's texting. So she's trying not to let him see the furtiveness, but trying to make sure that if there's anybody like stalking and watching them, that they notice her reaction to it and then hiding it.
It's okay.
Playing to the invisible cameras.
It's okay because I'm
Exactly,
not paying attention because I'm
Good.
going basement? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
So very good.
Or below the basement with the magic key.
Yeah, I was juggling some very difficult, conflicting objectives right now. So she's trying to get everybody in where she needs them to be. Okay.
This is probably happening in the group chat unless Gabriel has moved
No,
it.
no, I haven't.
But Isla doesn't have a phone anymore, so
It's true.
she is now out of that loop.
I've taken a moment to process. We didn't go far enough. We didn't have enough time to search the entire building. We only got to the murder site on the 6th floor.
Remind me how Derek said that I could get in touch with him. He gave me something.
He gave you a small object wrapped in cloth and said, "Blood your thumb and press to this,"
Okay.
which you then later unwrapped and found to be sort of a broken mirror shard.
Okay. So Isla, in her, while she's just sort of like looking out the windshield, looking like she's just sort of passively waiting for Gabriel to finish his texting and drive the car, but she furtively, as subtly as she can, pulls a pen out of her pocket and writes on the inside flap of the envelope, I'm going to pretend to sneak out and see Derek soon. And she just holds it open so that Gabriel can see it, but she doesn't look at him.
I text.
Okay.
First I text. Spoke with Jimmy, seeing about returning to the hospital with backup this time. We should. This is on the group text. We need to meet. We need to
Okay.
discuss this new information. Click, put the phone down, turn the car on, look over at Isla, see thing.
Hmm.
And she is
Isla,
looking out the.
give me a dexterity and expression roll, difficulty 6,
Okay. And
just to see how well you can pass this off.
Gabriel can
Or actually,
probably tell
subterfuge,
by
sorry.
the way she's pretending to look bored and look out the window that he should not in any way acknowledge what she has written.
Dexterity and subterfuge, sorry.
Dexterity and subterfuge. Okay.
The second one is subterfuge. Because the sheets are still broken.
Yes, they are.
The second. Okay. Difficulty was what now?
6.
Six. 2 successes.
Okay. So yeah, you feel like you're feeling pretty subtle with what you're doing with the envelope.
And she also, as she now that she knows that Gabriel is finished and is paying attention, she adds, burn this envelope later. And she takes the message out of it, sticks the message in her pocket, and then pretends to notice that Gabriel is off the phone or whatever and says, "It was empty." And just shrugs and tosses the envelope at him like it's no big thing.
Did I see the note get shifted?
I missed that because my headset went out. What did you say?
Did I see the note get shifted from the envelope to her pocket?
She wasn't trying to hide that. She had her hands in her lap, like if anybody was looking into the car, they wouldn't see it, but she just very straightforwardly took the note out, put it in her pocket, and then said, "It was empty." And I handed him the envelope, and then it's written on there, "Burn this later."
Yeah, I'll just put it down on the floorboard, shift into gear, and go.
All right.
Going back to the domain.
Sounds good. Lysander, you get in your car, and you're going to be trying to make up a lot of distance at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need a dexterity and drive, difficulty 6.
Oh, this should be fun.
And he wrecks into the river.
We'll find out.
I'm having flashbacks to the Elysium.
You said difficulty 6, right?
Difficulty 6, yep.
Oh, baby.
Cars or our doors?
4 successes.
All right. So you amp it out of the
This
the
GT
parking
Viper is
lot.
going fast.
Yeah, no, and you are pushing 60 miles an hour before you've even made it around the first couple block turns. You gun it through the neighborhood, managing to pass most of the intersections without any trouble whatsoever. There's a very slight need to alter course for probably something dumb like a Honda Civic that's in front of you. And you are on the interstate at this point, gunning for that next exit, which is just a little ways down the highway. Give me one more dexterity and drive, same difficulty.
Just alter course for something stupid, like, there's a car that's not going as 50 miles an hour.
50 miles an hour in a
35.
suburb.
Yeah, I don't trust my luck.
In
so
a
I'm gonna
Honda
spend,
Civic that might have like a family in it or something. That's something stupid.
Nothing to
like
worry about.
Yeah,
I mean, if Lysander was a real man, he would have just grabbed a sledgehammer and knocked the car out of the way. Come on.
yeah, that's true. I probably would have. But yeah, I'm gonna spend the willpower for this
Just
one.
hanging out the window.
Willpower point for another success. Don't trust myself. 2 successes. Okay.
2 successes. All right.
Good thing you didn't.
Yeah.
So you push it, a good 20, 30 miles an hour faster than even you probably should, and manage to just leap off the interstate at the exit. Run the red light, hang a left turn, headed for that bus stop towards the terminus. Just eyeballing every single stop that you pass, trying to see if you see anybody that looks familiar.
Is it okay if I can make a roll for that, just to try to see if I can activate
Perception and alertness, difficulty, given how fast you're going, difficulty 8.
Okay.
Not paying attention, head off the road.
Difficulty 8.
Remember, kids, don't drive distracted.
Even if you're an immortal.
When you drive distracted, people
0
die.
successes.
Fortunately, that's not a botch.
So yeah, you don't see anybody as you're going by that looks like you'd recognize them. And you get to the terminus bus stop, Nobody's there.
Okay.
And as you pull up to this very last bus stop, you can
Mhm.
just see the bus looping around and coming back the other way to sort of reverse its route like they do when they get to an endpoint.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna try to like roll my window down and try to like wave down the bus.
Okay. Give me a charisma and expression.
Mhm.
Difficulty
How much does
7.
the bus driver not care?
Yeah, you're gonna need to get a certain number of successes on this one.
0 successes.
Okay. Yeah, no, whoever's behind the wheel of the bus either doesn't see you or is blinded by your headlights and can't see you waving or just don't give a fuck and just drives right past.
All right.
This driver's like, what the hell is this car doing? Okay, no.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a parking spot for the car and just park it and then just get out.
Okay. Yeah, at this time of night, not too difficult to find a parking spot. Shifting back to Velma. So nobody's apparently coming to get you. Give me a perception and alertness difficulty 7.
Okay. Perception and alertness. Come on, cheat.
I didn't know that Lysander was chasing a bus.
Zero successes.
Okay, so
Not a bot.
you get the Lysander should still be up there area, in the area text. So that's what you know so far.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I walk up there. There is no car.
There is definitely no car.
2 no cars.
There is, however, a white van.
There is a white van, and I got a text saying that we're going somewhere.
Oh no, you.
Wait, isn't this the van they saw
Gabriel?
before?
Velma has seen that van and did see us talking to people inside the van.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. But I got the text saying that we're going somewhere. We need to meet and do
We
something,
need to meet
right?
back at the domain.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
That van is mine now.
Please
the
don't
route.
kill our contractors.
Grand Theft Vampire.
I'm contemplating it. The route back. The route.
If you
back,
do that, Lysander's gonna kill you. Just letting you know.
only if you find out.
I'm not joking. He's seriously gonna kill you.
All the route back to the domain.
Mhm.
I vaguely know the way, possibly. Hopefully, I was looking out the windows. Does it go past any hunting grounds that I know of? Anything like that?
Not particularly.
Okay.
No. Most of the territory north of the cut is claimed by other vampires.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and feeding on somebody else's turf is dangerous at best.
Yeah.
Exciting too, but you know.
I know it is. Well,
They
this
come
just.
out and they do the whole "get off my lawn" and then you light them up. It's great.
Yeah.
That's just me.
And there were like straggler people around. I remember that.
There were a couple, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anyone around right now?
Give me a perception and investigation, difficulty 7.
Okay. I'm better at investigation. Let's try that.
What the reverb on Mara's mic, it just makes the voice that much creepier.
Is it? It's still doing it. I tried to change something. I wasn't sure if other fixed it.
It's not.
It's pretty cool. Don't worry about
It's not bad. It's just it adds a new level to the character.
It makes the vampire that much creepier.
Yeah.
All right, I won't change it then.
With 3 successes, you think there's somebody sleeping on a bench over there.
Well, within view of the van, presumably. Well, they're just gonna have to deal with that. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat.
Okay. Give
Yeah.
me a dexterity and stealth, because I assume that's her general mode of operation. Difficulty 6.
Okay. 6. 3 successes.
All right. So, like a night mist, you just waft across through the shadows, up over, and yes, there is very much indeed a probably mid-20s individual.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think this is the same guy I fucked up the other night.
No, it is definitely not.
Aw,
This one's a
poor guy.
female.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna eat.
Okay. Dexterity brawl, difficulty 6.
All right. My brawl is up now. Yay!
Yay for brawl.
Yeah, I'm very excited about brawl. 2 successes.
All right. So you just ease back a little bit of whatever jacket or overcoat they're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
There's that waft of, yeah, this person hasn't showered in a few days, but blood is blood. And you sink your teeth into a vein. I will need you to roll a stamina and athletics. We'll say.
Ooh, okay.
Difficulty 6.
All right. 0 successes.
Okay.
I am weak.
So you sink your teeth in, and there's a weird flavor to the blood. And you swallow. How many points of blood are you taking on your first drink?
Can you remember what the standard was? There was like a
3
certain
is
amount
the standard, right?
Okay, I'm probably taking the standard.
Okay, and you can
Yeah.
usually take 6 before things get dangerous for.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
and there's a sharp edge tinge to this blood, and as the liquid flows down your throat, and you begin to absorb it into the dead tissue that makes up your body, you feel yourself almost stiffen, like you just grabbed the exposed end of an electric fence. And your eyes flare open, and your mouth is still locked on, and you're swallowing reflexively, but there is something in this blood besides just blood, and it
Okay.
is starting to affect you.
Can I tell what it is?
It's your turn
Give
now.
me an
I was
intelligence.
kidding when I said this was our Grand Theft Vampire episode, but I guess we've got the drugs now too.
Give me an intelligence and medicine.
All right,
Same
Difficulty
kind of drugs
7.
either.
medicine.
Driving.
Last time it was weed. This time I think it might be some kind of narcotic.
This
It's probably
time
gonna
it's
be like.
heroin.
This time it's like codeine.
2 successes.
2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess like some.
Electric
Or-
fence, the drug.
Bleach.
It's definitely some level of possibly amphetamine or cocaine is your
Oh.
best guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Alright.
lightning, the electric charge
You got
thing
that
sounded like.
speedball, blood style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going.
definitely a
Yeah.
stimulant of some variety.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely a stimulant of some sort.
I'm gonna keep drinking 2, and then
Very
I'm.
strong stimulant.
Atta
Good
girl.
on you. Good
And
on
then
you.
I'm gonna stop just 2, so I want 5 total.
Okay, so you
On
take
us for a
5.
2-1 crack.
Yeah.
and then Velma runs all the way back to the domain.
I thought you didn't have points of hilarity. I do now.
I don't.
She goes home and writes 3 episodes of The West Wing. Sorry. Terrible Aaron Sorkin joke.
Well, it's funny because it's true, Michelle.
Sorkin.
So yeah, you take 5 points of blood, and you are jittery and energetic and amped as hell currently.
Okay, well, this is great. Okay, well, let's see. I could walk home, or I could do something else. There are cars around. I don't know. No one's watching them. Or I could just walk. But that takes so long. When are they getting back? Who knows? I don't know. Are there empty cars around?
Give me a perception and alertness
Okay.
difficulty 7.
All right. Did that roll? Yeah. 1 success.
You do find a white Honda Civic, circa 1999.
Well, I'm gonna try and drive that thing.
Okay.
I think I can do it. I can definitely do it.
Give me a wits and larceny difficulty
Okay.
6.
Oh, shit.
Our Nosferatu gets caught by the police breaking into
I
and
have
trying to
2 in
steal a
larceny,
car
so we might be okay.
while on crack.
Oh.
6, you said?
Yes,
For the
difficulty 6.
Okay.
I hope they don't catch her. She needs to
That's
get
one
home and
success.
write 3 more
Look,
books
it's
of a Song
fine.
of
This
Ice and
is
Fire.
probably the least bad part of the apocalypse.
Ma'am, I need you to walk a straight line. I'll do a straight line.
Oh, they'd be freaked out way before that point happened.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, you look at the car,
Mhm.
remember some things that you learned
Basically.
sometime in your history.
Yep.
You drop an elbow through the driver's side window, pop a lock, jump in. You don't even bother looking for anything to pry with. You just sink your hands in, grab a panel underneath, yank. Oh, look, here's some wires. Zip, zip. All right, there's a car.
I just like the
I'm
idea.
kind of impressed,
Just like
honestly.
walks up to the car, looks at it, click, click, click.
She said, "Whoop."
And
I
you are
drive.
driving south towards the domain.
All right.
Animation, 5
When you-
episodes,
when you
5
s-
more
when you
books of a
said-
Song of Ice and Fire.
When you said drop an elbow into the window, I just imagine like a Randy Savage elbow is like leaping flying elbow through the window.
Oh yeah!
Snap into a Slim Jim, motherfucker.
Oh man.
Okay. All right.
Grand Theft Masquerade.
Pretty much. So, Velma's got a car and she's headed back.
Yep.
Excellent.
But it got,
You're right.
everybody's got a car now.
Pretty much. Is anybody not headed towards the domain currently?
I'm
Lysander, you
headed
head
towards the fridge within the domain.
Okay. There are 5 units
sitting
of
in the
blood.
domain.
You can take as many of those as you need. Each of them is worth 1 blood.
Alexander heads towards the domain. He's already there. All right.
Let's say, can I head somewhere that I'm already at?
Technically, yeah. All right. So,
Um,
Lysander, you find a place to park. And you're seeing all these group messages coming through in sequence.
Okay. I'm gonna read them all. I'm just gonna be
And
like,
Naomi will just take the 5.
Okay.
See, in LA, take the 5 means something different. So I was like, wait, where?
Yes, I
So you Capri Sun, 5 units of blood. Okay.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, he's just going to text for the group message.
assuming that Alexander doesn't get freaked out and make me stop.
I'm just gonna say, keep me updated on whatever happens.
I don't give a shit if you're drinking medical blood. You can down all that shit for all I care.
Ah,
Did.
it's my supply.
And then I'm gonna want to make 2 rolls. One just for just keeping my eyes aware, and the second one to try to see if I can pick up the smell of spray paint.
Okay. Give me. You can bounce those both into a single roll. Perception and alertness.
Okay.
Difficulty 8.
Oh fuck. Okay. Let's see. Fuck. A 0 success. Well, 1 success technically. Because if eyes in the back of my head for the awareness.
Yeah. No, that would count. Yep. So yeah, you're just trying to keep sort of a 360 degree field of awareness around you, and everything's fairly isolated. You don't catch any scent of anything.
Okay.
You're pretty sure you would notice if anybody walked by or if anybody looked familiar. And yeah, it's 1 a.m. and it's a university area. So I mean, like there are still some people around, but nobody you recognize, nobody that seems to match the description or resemble who you're looking for.
Okay.
Sorry, I got Shinedown playing in my head right now when you said that.
I'm gonna just try to retrace my steps and like try to see if I can hit each bus stop in the area, and then just if I need to make a roll for each of them, do that.
Yeah, no. As you begin to walk back, and take stock of each single area all the way back to the interstate, give me 3 more of those rolls, same difficulty.
Okay. So first one, 3 successes.
Okay. At the first place you stop, you don't smell anything. There is somebody who's sitting on a bench a little ways away, though, that looks like they're just waiting for the next bus to come by.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all you see there.
Okay. I'll make the second roll.
This one
0
is-
successes.
Yeah, this one's just an empty bus stop. Still no scent. Nobody around.
All right. Last one. I'm gonna spend a willpower point for this one.
Yep.
4 successes.
There are 2 guys sharing a cigarette at the bus stop, which definitely permeates the area and masks any other scent.
Okay.
They seem to just be waiting, talking about, whatever the latest sporting event in Seattle was, probably some sort of Mariners thing.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna. At this point, Lysander would probably want to walk back, but as he's walking back for like each place that he goes to, he's going to try to find a alleyway and say in where is it? Say the here we go. Say the phrase, or start speaking in the Purple Snake thief tongue. Every alleyway he goes to, he's going to say it in kind of just like a regular speaking voice. If it's really you, then embrace me. And he's just going to say that for each alleyway he hits at each bus stop.
Okay. So you proceed back, almost doing just this vague, somewhat ritualistic chant. It becomes, as this mantra. You just continue to repeat it as you get to. As you're proceeding back towards your own vehicle, and there's that beat of listening, because she's out there somewhere, and you know that if she hears this, she of all people will definitely know what it means, and what's communicated in it. Not just the words, but also the emotion and the distance that underlies this phrase that you've repeated, even internally to yourself as you walk, and then vocalize at each of these intersections. And the night doesn't seem to answer back, and if she's out there, she's either too far away or still concealed from you by some means. And there's a little bit of a dull, hollow ache in your chest as you get back to your car.
Okay, so Lysander's just going to get into his car. He's going to sit down. And then if you see in, in those cliches, what's it called? Those cliche romance movies, he's just going to frantically, maniacally just start screaming and just punching his fist into the dashboard.
Might
Give
break
me
the dashboard.
a strength and brawl difficulty
Oh no.
6.
As you break your new car.
I have actually broken the dashboard of a car before. This is possible. Be careful.
2 successes.
There is a crack. You don't punch necessarily through it into anything, but part of the paneling does give way a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Then he's going to stop, and he's just going to pull out his photo book and flip to the page of their wedding day picture, and he's just going to stare at it, and then he's going to say the phrase one more time, but in a very his voice at this point just sounds broken. He sounds like this, like he's very emotionally trained, and he is at a point where it's I don't know really how to put it into words. It's just like he's just really had enough of this, and all he wants at this point is just to see Diana again.
Mm-hmm. And so
Hi,
with
Sar. Just saying.
And yeah, Lysander
hung
just
out.
sits there with that emptiness sort of just surrounding him at this point. Drained, dry, husked of emotion, and with just this one crystallized goal in your mind that you're going to hold on to and keep that last ember of determination alive until you can finally come face to face with this person who's been missing for so long. At which point we pivot over back to the domain where everybody else is. So you guys have... Yeah, go ahead.
For the sake of expediency, as people have been coming, there was a meeting indicated. Naomi's been just writing up probably a paragraph, maybe 2, just going through all of the details of what she did, how her afternoon was.
How her last 36 hours.
If Gabriel doesn't remember on his own to pick up the envelope from the floorboard of the car, she just would say something. Oh, he remembers. Okay.
He remembers.
Because she doesn't want to take any chance that somebody sees she's been slipping him furtive little notes.
I did ignore. Yeah, no, he definitely remembers.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, after sometime within the next 10 minutes, pretty much, each of you will have gotten back to the domain.
Isla basically, she takes just enough time to kind of make small talk with everybody, and oh, Naomi, I'm so glad that you're awake. I knew you'd be all right. And then as soon as is like even remotely not super rude, she says, I actually have to step out for a little while, but I'll be back obviously before sunrise. Does anybody have a phone that I can borrow just in case there's an emergency and you need me to come back sooner?
Oh, definitely. Just take mine.
I pull
That's fine.
out my old phone and hand it to Isla
Okay.
because I've got 2 phones.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
Thank you. I'm just
We're
going to hang
taking
on
you
to
to
this
phone
for a while
shopping.
because I lost mine.
We're
But I'll be
not
back
having
later,
to
okay? Everybody, I'll be back. Just some personal stuff. I'll be back later. And she leaves, if not stopped.
Bye.
And then about at that point, Naomi will send the group text that's just summary of events from prior in the episode.
Yeah.
Because,
So you guys hear all about weird crows that are, some of which are dead and on trees and some of which are alive in trees. You guys hear about
they
fractal
care a
weird...
lot about singing.
Yes, fractal weird entities that are apparently distilled versions of crazy. You hear about a basement filled with 7 tables and multiple candle stands in a vaguely arithmetic pattern, most of which were extinguished.
And has
The
Gabriel told
artwork.
us? Yeah. And has Gabriel told us about the conversation you had with Jimmy?
I texted that I had spoken with Jimmy and that he was looking into getting us back up for heading back down there.
Okay, cool. Well, what was that? What was that, Gabriel? Because we could just go right now. I mean, we should get this done. Go do things.
We could indeed go right now and get things done and be run off the road by the Camarillas guards who are set to keep the borders closed.
But you talked to Jimmy, then we could just go. We did. He did it last time, so we went out of town. And the only thing that happened was that the car windows went all dark because you did some weird
Can I tell
stuff.
what kind of crazy she's acquired? Because I'm so proud.
if we don't get run off the road by the Camarillas border guards, then we go down there and we find a basement that may or may not exist outside of Naomi's head, and we get eaten by an antediluvian.
When she texted everyone. So have you heard of basement before? Have you seen? We don't know. They said it was below. The rats did. So maybe they're down there. We should just go.
Naomi said basement. I was responding to Naomi saying basement because we didn't go as far to find a basement.
We're gonna take forever to do anything. Why did we just go?
Can I
Jimmy
tell?
let us out of the city last time.
Can we tell what's wrong with Velma?
Intelligence and medicine, difficulty 8.
This seems like a drug thing.
Could I make an argument for Streetwise?
Nope.
Surely Gabriel will have some empathy.
I have no dots in medicine, so do I making that a
I have
minus 2?
3 successes.
Yes, you are.
Nice.
So I'm rolling 1 dice.
Yes, you're rolling 1 die.
Difficulty what?
8.
Nope.
Okay. So, Naomi and Alexander, you've never seen an octogenarian tweaker before. But this is probably what it would be like.
I don't know blood magic that can, cleanse problems from a vampire's system. Do I know if those even exist?
You know someone you could ask.
You do know somebody you could ask. You do not know if they exist, but you do know somebody you could probably ask.
Gabriel, do you know if there are any rituals to cleanse the rare toxins that can actually be within the vampire system?
This isn't taxes. This is perfectly fine.
Jack,
Yes.
We need to go.
if I were to forcibly up Velma's stamina to the maximum, would Velma be able to re-roll that stamina check?
Potentially.
Okay.
It might help her filter or metabolize or whatever those chemical substances
Naomi
a
will
little
hold
quicker.
up a hand and start a recording on her phone and try and calm things.
The dementation also works.
Yes. Maybe. I don't know.
While
Possibly
Naomi's
not.
doing that-
We'll try.
I just reach over and put a hand on Velma's shoulder.
What? I'm fine. We just need to
I'm
go.
going first because I probably am supporting you more than you're supporting me on this.
Mine doesn't require any verbal blood or anything. It just requires me touching.
Okay,
All right,
so
so-
he really ignores Naomi. Good to know.
Oh, no, I'm not ignoring. I'm just you're doing a thing, I'm doing a thing. At the same time.
Naomi is going to be rolling charisma and empathy, difficulty 6.
One success.
Okay.
I've had a lot of
And-
ones this week.
I just roll willpower.
Right. And you roll willpower, also difficulty 5.
Right. Two successes. You spend 2 blood points and up your stamina by 2.
Yep.
What if I don't want to?
You
Ah!
have
Choice.
to.
Ah!
No choice.
No! All right, spend 2, and my stamina
Goes up by 2.
is it?
Yep. Your
Is that
stamina goes up
permanent?
by 2.
No, it's
No.
just for the
It's
scene.
for the scene.
Dang.
Yep.
Ah, we
Do
need
us
to
all a
go.
favor and spend the ones you just drank.
And you feel a slight lurch in your psyche, Velma. And it's muted just briefly, not very much,
Mhm.
not unnaturally so. Doesn't feel too invasive or anything. It was like you just had a slight low swing off this manic high that you were on, and then you're right back to it.
Okay.
Roll me another stamina and athletics, difficulty 6, though.
Okay.
Or increased stamina pool.
Yes.
See? Naomi and Gabriel work together.
1 success.
Naomi and Gabriel tend to be reasonably collaborative. Naomi's an enabler, as we've established.
Yes, she is. And you can feel yourself starting to come down off of whatever was in that blood that you ate.
What?
It's not
What?
completely gone yet. You've still got a little ways to go, but it's starting to taper off just slightly.
Can I tell that was a natural, like, did that feel like a natural decline, or was it, can I tell that Gabriel did that to me? Because
Give me a wits and empathy, difficulty 6.
okay.
Passion is usually pretty difficult to detect.
Yeah.
And-
No, passion you wouldn't be able to detect.
The worth noting, a vampire does know when I make them spend blood.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it was definitely him.
What the hell? That was great. It felt great, Gabriel. Why did you do that? We did it. Ah! And then it sort of slows
Naomi.
down.
New rule. While we're trying to be professional adult vampires with real important jobs, no drinking from drug addicts. When you're off the clock, drink from all the drug addicts you like. While the apocalypse is keeping you on the clock, no drug addicts.
I just point at Naomi.
I still think we need to go. I still
Yeah.
think we need to go.
Yes, we should probably do something about that, but for now, I think this is the second time within a very short while that we have had this problem.
I'm going to
I'm
go
now
back to
turning
my map
Russian.
using my new information. By map, I mean my conspiracy board. Using my new information to try and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Why is the Spanish accent?
And where. Actually, she's not looking at what so much as she's looking for an intercession point on this big conspiracy chart with everything we found so far.
Okay.
And Jack, is there
Yes.
anything that I can roll that would that would give me the ability to verify mentally that what Naomi has provided could be accurate information?
No.
Okay. It's either trust or not.
Right, pretty much. Yeah, as
it.
far as that goes.
Yeah.
The only way you could sort of verify would have to be actually doing research into the Auspex powers and things like that, if you indeed are able to.
Well,
I forget.
mean,
Did I roll well enough to know that you could high-powered Auspex people could astrally project?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I can. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. You can assume that it was probably something more than just a hallucination.
I mean, you can make an empathy roll to tell if Naomi is trying to communicate things she finds to be factual, presumably.
Yeah.
We
You do that as well.
But yeah, conspiracy board time.
Okay. All right. So you go back and you take a few minutes to sketch the remaining new information into your nice, evenly laid out grid of text on your big board. And then you just take a moment to sort of sit back and look at it. Kind of let your eyes drift out of focus a little bit and pan across the board to see if there's anything that jumps out at you. Go ahead and give me a perception and awareness roll, difficulty 8. Not reducible this time.
One success.
Okay. As you're looking, you start to notice a slightly new pattern emerging, you think. Intelligence and occult.
Can I spend a
Difficulty-
willpower on this?
Not on this one, because this is more of an
Okay.
interpretation knowledge one. So it's more dependent, not just on how much you focus. But
Difficulty
intelligence and occult, difficulty 7.
3 successes.
There's a faint hint of how the new letters are arranged and the way that you're planning to travel and kind of just filtering this information through your mind. And then you notice and you sort of start tapping particular letters on the board. And Naomi's fairly aware of the occult and that sort of thing. And with this grid layout, there's actually an interesting pattern that you see emerge. Certain letters that would, in your mind at least, logically be affiliated with certain cards in the tarot deck it's almost like there's a little text representation of a laid out tarot reading there.
Like a tarot reading, or just like the cards of the major and minor arcana?
No, like an actual, like if somebody dealt
Like
out the
the
cards
grid of
in a
the
classical arrangement. Yeah.
Naomi has a few tarot decks, I'm assuming, so she's going to
Mhm.
pull one out and sort of overlay them
Okay.
with the board.
And as you do so, give me another intelligence and occult, difficulty 6.
0 successes.
Okay. You lay it out, and there's definitely a hint of a hidden problem with a little bit of danger or violence associated with it, and something missing in the present, and a journey in the future. You can't get much detail out of it. Nothing that really speaks very strongly to the whole thing, but
Does my understanding of tarot say anything of this?
where are you?
Actually, Naomi will pop out to the other room. Anyone read tarot?
I have done a few.
I imagine I would.
Okay.
Beckoning finger, not even bothering to wait for the responses.
Sounds good. Your guys will be at difficulty 7 because these are not your decks.
Yeah, intelligence occult. You said.
Intelligence and occult, though. Yep.
Intellect occult.
Damn it!
Then again, Naomi's more of a conduit than a reader, so
I have the exact same result.
Difficulty what? 7?
Difficulty 7.
The exact same
Wow.
result.
I have cults.
That is
Can I
amazing.
try just for kicks? I think this is fun.
It's
You're
even,
still a little.
it's-
You're still a little blurred,
still-
so you're gonna
alright,
you're gonna be
cool.
difficulty 8, but you can definitely try.
Alright.
Yes.
It's
I'm
actually
gonna try just because.
It's actually, weirdly enough, William and I rolled almost the exact same thing. Our numbers were 1, 4s, 5s, and 10s.
It's like the
genetic.
dice themselves are like, let us tell you
Nope.
things.
Not at
Nobody's
all.
reading this.
So yeah,
No one-
you guys
nope.
are able to glean sort of those very basic sort of concepts out of it, but nothing deeper than that.
Wow! Like, no botches, no complete
No
failures,
botches.
just zero success across the board.
Yep.
Um,
Almost like the dice are telling a story.
What?
I looking at the cards, how they're laid out. This obviously isn't like my deck. It's her deck and laid out weirdly. If I were to,
They are actually laid on top of the other thing, if that matters.
yeah,
to
if
anyone.
I were to using not my own deck of tarot cards, but like a deck of playing cards that I've assigned tarot suits to, try to replicate it in the way you would do a tarot reading, would I gain anything out of that?
No, not at this
Okay.
point.
What is the layout, for one? What are the tarots in individually?
I don't know.
Anyways, while we're staring at this, I'll just Alexander, could we perchance utilize your status for some expediency?
Yeah, we need to go. Still.
If you could contact Jimmy and let him know we have some new and potentially pressing information regarding a 7th murder and a basement in the hospital that we weren't able to explore previously.
Very well.
Flickering lights. Basement below the water. Naomi will echo her earlier comments.
All right, shifting slightly. Isla, where are you off to?
Isla wants to find just kind of the nearest semi-public place where it would be normal for her to like just be hanging out and waiting for somebody, where she's
Okay.
not going to get arrested for loitering or whatever. And she uses her little blood Derek summoning thing and then goes and waits at the nearest acceptable location, basically.
Okay. So as you're thinking about it and considering where you might be able to meet him in a more or less public area that wouldn't be problematic, Statue of Lenin is the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
That's where he dropped you off the first night.
So that's
and
where
so
I
it's-
head once I've alerted him that.
Right. So yeah, you find some way to cut the pad of your thumb, press it against this little fractured mirror. Yeah, no, teeth work just fine. And you just press it on there, and then you go and you wait. You wait for about half an hour before a pair of headlights comes down, and you recognize the car that he had followed you and driven you around in and dropped you off in. And the window rolls down in the passenger side as he pulls up alongside the statue. You're sitting on a bench nearby. Hello, my love.
Hi, I got your message.
And I received yours. Coming.
She gets in the car,
Okay.
just no hesitation whatsoever, no caution, doesn't look around or anything, just gets in.
And he pulls a quick U-turn and begins driving back eastward. What's going on?
I just got your message and I had to see you. I don't know how much longer I can keep this up, pretending to be with the others.
Of course.
I just need to be with you.
He gives a little half smile at that. Well, soon then.
Is there anything I can do to help move things along?
At this point, just keep an eye out, really.
What do you need me to watch for?
Keep me apprised of what's going on. If your friends begin to look into anything that feels like they're getting close, or if they begin to suspect you, or if they simply start doing anything inexplicable and unusual.
So far, to me, it seems as though they're just floundering. They've made surprisingly little progress.
Ain't that the
Understandable.
truth?
They, I told them what I was told to tell them, so I assume that that was all right. Someone who I believe was on your side told me what to report back to them, and I told them everything. I told them that they were going to corrupt the lake, that
Right.
and that it was the Tremere that were doing some sort of ritual. Like, let me know if she's getting this completely wrong, because
No, she's getting that right. Yep.
Okay. And so they went to check that out. They went. I know that they went to the lake to investigate, but they didn't turn up anything that I'm aware of. But also, I've lost my phone, so I think I'm out of the loop a little bit on everything that they've been doing. Although I have one now, so I should be looped into any messages that they want to send to me. I don't know what happened to my phone though. If you find it lying around anywhere, do return it to me.
I'll see if we find it. Absolutely. Yes.
But I do have a phone now, so I'll let you know if they text me anything that looks like they might be getting close. I assume you mean, and here's where the player isn't sure what Derek intends for Isla to know. And this is my player memory acting up. Like, what is it that she should be, what is it that Isla would recognize as them getting close? What is it that she knows?
Right. Give me a wits and empathy difficulty 6.
Wits and empathy 6. Okay. Wits, empathy 6. 4 successes. Hooray for empathy.
Derek is... You can read him fairly well. Even with the years of separation, you still know this person. And he's being a little more evasive, and he's got sort of that deportment of someone who's carrying on a conversation that is referencing things that they're not fully aware of or don't fully have background on, but out of the intent to keep the conversation going for whatever reason, they're carrying on as if everything is just normal and fine.
Okay. So if there's anything more that I can do other than reporting back, if you want me to sabotage anything, if you want me to deliberately put obstacles into their path so that it's easier for you, just let me know. They have no idea that they know that I met you, but as far as they know, they don't know I'm meeting with you tonight. As far as they know, I'm 100% trustworthy on their side. They have no reason to suspect me of anything. So I'm in a very good position to lay obstacles in their path.
Give me a manipulation and subterfuge difficulty 7.
I'm going to spend a willpower point here.
All right.
Spend that auto success.
Yeah, because I cannot afford to screw up here.
This is not a good place to botch.
Exactly. So I've only got 2 willpower points left. Okay, and I'm rolling what? Manipulation
and subterfuge.
Okay, difficulty what?
7. So it's the second subterfuge is the actual subterfuge.
1 success. Oh,
2 successes.
Yep. So 2 successes with the willpower.
2 successes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He kind of glances over. Sabotage or obstacles might be risky.
Okay.
Could very easily give yourself away beforehand with that.
I certainly don't want to make things worse.
Keep them from leaving town.
Okay.
As best you can.
Keep them
As we're leaving town right now.
Keep them in Seattle. All right. Can you think of what would be a good story, something that might scare them into not leaving? Can you think of something that I could tell them that would serve your purposes?
Well, fear usually doesn't work, especially for people of our kind. Wait, I would say, in the interest of keeping yourself safe and them occupied, make sure that if they are planning on leaving town, they know that they need all possible information before they depart.
Okay.
Given that the Tremere are working on this, I'm certain that there are any number of reasons one might want to
here's a
poke around
thought.
the chantry.
Here's a thought. Since Gabriel, you know, the one that I got accidentally bloodbound to, is not really one for being patient and gathering lots of information. I mean, he's very likely to go off half-cocked. So I think a better strategy might be if we give them something, like you say, fear isn't necessarily going to stop them, but is there anything that could entice them to think that if they stay in Seattle, they will be intercepting something or coming across some really excellent information that they can only, they have, do you know what I'm saying? Can you invent something that I might have, while I was just out running personal errands, something I might have come across that would convince them if they stay in Seattle, something really good is going to happen for them?
I would say yes. Given that the ceremony is taking place at Green Lake, and that it's being bound by the Tremere, watching the chantry will be very important to ensure that they and honestly, going in and under whatever circumstances, excuses, or auspices they decide are tactically sound, to see what's going on in the chantry might be helpful as well.
Okay, what might I see that might lead me to believe during my outing this evening that now would be an excellent time to go check out the chantry? What are some clues that might lead them in that direction? Could I have seen something, heard something, overheard, witnessed some strange goings on that I would conclude something's going down at the chantry?
You went out to feed, I assume, is where you've been.
Sure. Do you have any blood on you, by the way, so that I could not be starving when I come back? Just for verisimilitude.
He bites his wrist and holds it out to you.
Oh, of course. So
I'm so mean.
She unhesitatingly just chows down on his wrist, however many blood points he's willing to offer.
He'll give you 3.
Okay. So then she wipes her mouth.
I'm
Thank
telling
you.
you, somebody's gonna die tonight.
So I go out to feed, and what do I see or hear? She says after she wipes her mouth. And don't worry, she's got a plan. She's got a plan for this.
You see,
she's
2 individuals that definitely carried themselves like kindred.
Okay.
No, 3 individuals.
Okay. 3 kindred.
One was tall, blonde, spectacles, very well dressed.
All right.
Male. The other, brunette, female. Shorter, middle-aged, Hispanic.
Okay.
The third, large, scarred.
Large scarred. Male?
Bit of male, yes. Bit of the gangrel in him.
Gangrel.
The other 2 were obviously Tremere. And the gangrel had burn scars across.
Burn scar. Okay. That'll get Gabriel's attention. And then what did I see them doing or hear them say?
Watching your domain.
Watching our domain.
Watching with the obvious intent of sentry duty and likely reporting back to whoever they answer to.
Okay, perfect. I'll go back right now and tell them if you like. I've been gone long enough to have fed.
Very good.
I don't want to get them questioning and worrying where I've been. So I'll head back right now. And okay, so tall, spectacle, male, Tremere, middle-aged Hispanic woman, Tremere, and a gangrel with burn scars, which I would recognize because I have seen such a person.
Yes, you have.
Okay. All right. I can do this. Thank you.
Best of luck, my love.
Thank you. All right. So Isla heads back to the domain with a mission.
All right. Lysander, what are you up to?
Lysander's going to try one more thing before he heads back to the domain. So he's going to step out of his car. He's going to pull out his phone. He's going to swipe to the picture of the security camera with Diana's picture. And then he's going to try to see if he can beckon some alley cats.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the roll for that one, which is...
That should be... Charisma Survival difficulty 6.
Yes, indeed.
Alright.
So as she's walking home, Isla just,
2 successes.
pulls out pen and paper and starts writing some stuff down.
Awesome. So yeah, 4 or 5 cats show up within about 5 or so minutes, Lysander.
What was that? You robot.
Oh, 4 or 5, about 4 or 5 cats show up within about a few minutes.
Okay. So I am going to get down on one knee and try to spot the one that's kind of basically I don't know, I guess you can say the one that's kind of in charge of the pack, or the one that's more dominant in the pack.
Okay. Give me a Wits and Empathy difficulty 8.
Botch.
Yeah, hard to tell. You're not good with
success.
Did I?
Yeah, it's not,
Oh, I
not a
did.
full botch, but
All right.
yeah, hard to tell. You're not good with cat body language, and cats usually don't roam in packs nearly as much as you'd expect.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to bring the phone down to eye level with the picture, and I'm just simply going to ask, can you find her for me?
Okay. Give me a Manipulation and Animal Ken difficulty 6.
Let's see how this goes. Two successes.
Okay. The cats kind of eyeball you a little bit, blink their eyelids very slowly, and then, without really saying anything in response, sort of circle you for a moment, and then immediately go off in an almost perfectly geometric division of angles, all headed in different directions.
Okay.
The cat whisperer.
I'll just wait there.
Okay. How long are you going to wait?
I'll wait maximum probably 20-25 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Now, you wait almost a half an hour. Nothing responds back.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway.
All right. I'll give it just a little bit more time.
Okay. Yeah, another 10 minutes. Don't see anything. Don't hear anything.
All right.
They were just like, psh, who's this guy?
All right. Then I'm probably just going to get in my car and probably just start it.
Give me an Intelligence and Academics, difficulty 6 as well.
Okay.
Break this man's will.
Mix. Oh, here it is.
Comrade's not here, William.
I also don't feel like Comrade would give that order.
0 successes.
Okay.
Oh,
You're-
those
yeah.
ones.
You're pretty sure that they would be able to find you,
Okay.
even if you traveled somewhere else in the city.
Mm-hmm. Then I'm just going to kind of like slowly make my way to the intersection, or to before heading back to the domain, trying to see if I spot any cats.
Okay. Give me perception and investigation difficulty 6.
Wait, did Casper disappear at some point?
No,
Okay.
Casper can't hear him across the city, unfortunately.
That makes sense, though.
What was the difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
2 successes.
You do see one cat, but it wasn't one of the ones you talked to.
Okay. So I'm just going to keep going and just try to see if I can spot anything before.
Okay. Yeah, no, you don't see anybody who matches your description, or you don't smell any spray paint or anything as you're headed back, I assume, towards the domain?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to head back towards the domain.
Okay.
Can I give my report?
Yes, you can. Isla will return first.
Okay.
Also, I have to head out before. Like, I have to walk outside and call Jimmy.
Yes, you do.
during that time period.
Okay.
So I guess, it's probably 45 minutes or something after she left, because it was 30 minutes. She only spent like a few minutes talking to, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
you guys
maybe
probably,
an hour. It's been maybe an
rode around in the
hour.
car for maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. So it's been maybe an hour before Isla comes back, and she practically explodes through the door. Like, she would be out of breath if she breathed, and she looks very excited. Gabriel, you are not going to
Yes?
believe this. And she runs over and she just throws her arms around him. And as she does so, she semi-seductively just slips a piece of paper, which says, for at such whatever time anybody actually gets hold of this and reads it, it says, "None of you trust anything I say out loud. Also, Gabriel, we need to speak alone, somewhere even magical eyes, ears couldn't pry. Burn this once everyone has read it." Anyway, so she hugs him, slips this note into his pocket, and says, "I went out to feed, and I saw. Do you remember that gangrel you set on fire?
Yes.
I am 90% sure that it was him, because it was a gangrel. I mean, they all look the same to me, but he had burn scars."
While Isla is talking, I'm reaching into my pocket, pulling out that note and looking at it.
Okay. He had burn scars, and with
Can I notice this note? Can I read the note while Gabriel's reading it?
I mean,
Probably.
I'm holding it
Sure,
back
yeah,
towards you
y'all are
behind
welcome
me, so...
look at it while I was talking. And there were two well-dressed kindred with him. One was tall and had spectacles, male, and then there was a middle-aged Latino woman, also very well-dressed. And they were all three clearly watching our domain. I don't know if they saw me, but as soon as I spotted them, I turned tail and headed straight back here.
Right, and I've
Can
passed
I get
the
a
note
politics check for if this is false information? What is it trying to scoot us away from?
Yeah, if you want to. Wits and politics, difficulty 8.
Am I even in the room at this point, or is this like right around the time that I've stepped
You're
out
out talking to Jimmy, probably. Yeah.
around. Can I... would I be able to make the assumption that this information is meant to keep us in our domain? Because that's what
Well,
it
yeah,
seems like
I
to
think
me.
that part's probably pretty obvious, but like more than that.
I just know if that was less obvious than I thought it was.
Hey, there's people watching your domain is usually staying in your domain's a good answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, but with 2 successes, what do I actually know?
So as far as this information goes, with 2 successes, you recognize the descriptions. Tall blonde man with spectacles, very well dressed, and middle-aged Latina female, brunette. Those match the descriptions of two Tremere that you've seen at Elysium, usually fairly close to the Primogen.
Do I know who those are?
Yeah, you definitely know who they are. The man's name is Harold Harper. The female is Marcella Gutierrez.
Naomi List gets introduced and more just has seen a lot of people over her time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fairly high ranked, like maybe half a step below your sire in the Tremere circles.
I just want to look sort of towards the outside, like go over towards windows, and look along the street with aura vision and see if there's anyone on watching the apartment.
Okay. Give me your Auspex roll.
Right. Perception awareness difficulty what?
Perception empathy difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8. Reduced
as
Auspex?
needed.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I do as I go towards the window without saying anything, I just circle the air with my finger.
Okay.
One success.
Naomi's probably going to go start fiddling with the
pick up a couple of human auras of people walking by, but nobody seems to be stopped or watching, and definitely nothing that's not standard mortal.
Yeah. Pull the blackout curtains. Unless Naomi was looking out the window, in which case I wouldn't do that.
Naomi's assuming that Gabriel has magical rituals for this sort of thing.
Isla, what else are you delivering as part of your report? Anything?
I think that
Naomi's
was
gonna
pretty
start
much it. She
fiddling
described
with that wire structure she made
that they were watching.
5 episodes. No, more than 5 episodes ago.
Well,
this
more
is
than 5 episodes ago.
She basically just told them exactly what Derek told her to tell them, which was she described the individuals and that they were watching while she was out to feed, and that is all she says.
All right.
In addition to, the note.
Yeah.
Alexander, you're out on the balcony. The phone rings.
Yeah.
Oh, Velma?
Yeah, I'm antsy and annoyed, and I wanted to follow Alexander out.
Okay.
He's going out on the balcony?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, then I just follow him out.
Okay.
Look out.
All right. So, Alexander, phone rings twice, and then... Hello, this is Simon.
Hey, Simon, I need to speak with Jimmy.
1-800-SCOURGE, you got it. There's a beat. And you can hear some music in the background. And then Jimmy comes on. Alexander, what do we have going on?
Well, we have some new information. The seer has found something new.
Okay.
I say having obviously
elucidate me.
Well, in her excursions into the world of, well, I'm not sure if it's her Malkavian nature or something more, something in the realm of her superior vision, but she has seen, and I lay out the details of her dream, and I should note that apparently this basement she sees lies within the hospital that our companions searched through recently.
Lovely. Okay. Sounds wonderfully abstract and symbolic.
The seer's visions have not betrayed us thus far.
That's at least one vote in favor of working with whatever has been revealed here. Did she offer any strategic solutions as to the best way to act on this intelligence?
No one asked me because everyone just thinks I'm crazy.
Unfortunately, the company that we keep is not as keen on understanding her.
Well,
I shall endeavor to inquire further, but at the moment we need access out of the city again.
absolutely. Yeah, we can. I'll put in a call to Jameson, and yeah, we can get that arranged. I
I'm gonna
have
interrupt then.
taken a slight step in advance on this, and you can probably utilize your own vehicles for this whenever that needs to happen.
Well done.
Don't leave before you hear back from me, though.
Very
Just want
well.
to make sure everything's clear and we don't have a, border control incident
And
while
Velma,
you guys are trying to save the city.
Yeah.
what was Velma interrupting with?
I was just gonna interrupt and say as soon as possible when you were like saying, we need to leave the city, because I want to emphasize that.
Yeah, I look at her and I nod. And and as well, apparently last time they entered the hospital, because I wasn't here this session, I don't believe that I entered with them.
Right.
No, you.
No,
Nope.
basically what happened is you were moping, and Naomi told you to make sure Isla doesn't do anything stupid.
Yes, you were on Toreador babysitting duty.
So, and apparently last time they entered this hospital, it was dangerous, to say the least. There may be a need for assistance.
Backup, yeah. Gabriel mentioned earlier. If you guys have to head down there tonight, they will probably have to be a day behind you. But definitely by tomorrow night, we could probably get some bodies together.
Thank you very much.
Never mind. I can't retcon
Okay.
that in. That's too mean.
Well, wait to hear from me, and I will keep you guys updated as best I can.
I will let you know what else the seer has to say when you reach back to us.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I know. We're all trying not to die here.
Likewise. And he hangs up.
I mean, we have all definitionally already failed at that objective. We're just trying not to do it again.
Again. Once more
Eh.
with healing.
All right. I head back inside. I just give Velma a nod, turn around, head back inside.
All
Hello,
right.
Alexander.
And as I walk back inside, Naomi.
Hmm?
What is Jimmy's new title now that Fuchs is, or not Fuchs? Yes,
no.
now that Jameson is
Yes.
the basically
Prince.
the prince.
You have no idea.
Mr. Ulster would like to know what sort of tactical advice you would have with the revelations from your vision.
The most mundanely obvious thing would be to look out for a murder of 7 people on the 7th floor that was happening at approximately time I woke up. Because I have eidetic memory, I can just plop that info.
Mm-hmm.
How many floors? Then the hospital had 8 floors.
Yes, it did.
Correct.
And we found the bodies on
The 6th floor.
We found 6 dead bodies on the 6th floor, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a pattern. Then
We
again,
should go to the
that's
7th
possibly
floor.
at the hospital. Can I get like a wits and tactics sort of thing?
Yeah.
And before,
And-
as Alexander was coming back in, I grabbed Isla by the wrist and sort of led her into Lysander's room and closed the door.
Okay.
We'll have that conversation in a minute.
Yeah.
Better not
I'd
do
probably
nothing dirty
wanna,
in there.
All over your bed.
Tactics isn't actually a thing. Wits
Right.
is something, I assume.
It'll
Yeah,
be
I'd probably
wits and investigation.
I'd probably want to try and do the same thing because I've actually been to the hospital in like actual real space
Mm-hmm.
and seen kind of what's up there.
Difficulty what for
Difficulty will be 6 for
practical
both of
advice
you.
based on my vision.
And would tactics
And
apply for Naomi?
Yes,
And-
tactics would definitely apply. Mhm.
What was it? It was wits and investigation?
It's an investigation, difficulty 6. Yep.
Okay.
So no 10s, but 6 successes. So
Okay.
Still?
So, damn.
Tell me
And
what
you're
to do.
basically trying to determine what Naomi would consider to be the most logical approach at this point.
Well, the most Naomi approach,
based
because
on
logic
what she
isn't exactly.
saw, what she knows, what are tactical approaches, intercession points, what might be an interpretation, but like moving forward plans based on what she saw.
So
And-
Velma, you're pretty sure 7 on the 7th floor makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
given the pattern. Naomi, as you're considering it, given your perception of all the candles being in the basement of the hospital, your interpretation is not necessarily that the murders have to take place there, because obviously many of them did not. So the only other logical thing, if you're going to bring location into it, is maybe that's where the ritual takes place, if they're indeed doing a ritual. And it did have a fairly ritualistic sort of deployment to the scene.
Has anything happened?
Naomi
Sorry.
is actually going to pull out that candle and hand it to Gabriel,
Okay.
Sorry,
and
because
then like indicate where it was in the painting.
Right. Let me finish with Naomi, and then I can take more questions from people.
yeah.
The idea, of course, being that, yes, it seemed like the murders were taking place. And the other thing you're considering is that since 7 was the last one, because you've been kind of basing a little bit of your investigation off that counting rhyme that Matilda had given to
Yeah.
you. Hers went up to 10,
Mhm.
but she had stopped at 7 and then only given you the last 3
Yep.
in writing. So you're starting to draw the conclusion that this might be a 2-stage process. Something happens at 7, but everything doesn't completely end until 10.
Yeah.
Or 7 is its own thing, but if they are allowed to proceed, things could maybe get much worse.
So Naomi will communicate all of that, and then she'll kind of look up. But we are probably not the only ones pursuing this.
Who else? No one else
They're
is.
legitimately the only ones pursuing this.
You seen anyone else? We haven't
Naomi
seen anyone
will-
else.
Oh, she's new. Wolves.
Yeah.
Because I've been away for a couple of sessions and I don't remember fully, has anything happened at the Space Needle yet?
Mm-mm.
Not that you guys have gone to or looked into or seen or heard.
But Needle is standing out, not in Alexander's head, but in my head from all of Naomi's visions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that probably would have been included in the pretty significantly in the scene setting part of the vision. She never actually went there, but like
Technically, the Space Needle only has 6 floors. So, just
shush.
that it wouldn't necessarily matter.
I don't
On
know the
top
number
of the
of
spire.
floors.
It
I
also
don't
occurs to
think it's
Naomi
number
that the
of
wolves are
floors.
probably caring about this, given everything we know. So,
What?
if there have
what
been
wolves?
any other wolf incursions into Vampire area, that could give us a hint of what the worst nightmare imaginable thinks might be the bigger worst nightmare imaginable.
Where?
So that's something to ask Jimmy.
So while they were having that conversation, I pulled Isla away. So Isla and I actually weren't out there when you were trying to hand the candle to me.
Candle
Right.
goes to Gabriel when he gets back.
Okay.
Also, all of this is coming over text, so you get Naomi's half of the conversation either way.
All right. So Gabriel and Isla off in Lysander's room. While
Well,
Lysander is, I think, driving back the domain.
Pull Isla into the room, lock the door behind me. There didn't appear to be anybody watching or listening, and if they are listening through supernatural means beyond having an ear to the door, there's not much we can do to secure against that.
She just sort of casually takes his hand as they talk, and she's just holding his hand, but in such a way that it's like, I'm going to hold onto your hand and you're just going to let me do this. It's like she doesn't, the grip is not tentative in any way. It's like, I'm holding her hand now.
Fortunately, he's 2 stages blood bonded, so he doesn't mind.
Oh, well, they weren't watching right outside the building. They were in, within the borders of our domain, but it was a couple of blocks away. And she just sort of taps with her thumb on the palm of his hand as she says that.
Am I understanding what the tapping is for?
Wits and empathy, difficulty 6.
Empathy's kind of my weak spot.
Yeah, no.
She's figuring that he'll eventually notice the pattern as she keeps doing or not doing it. Like, even if he doesn't get it right away, he might get a chance to
Do I get any
figure
pull
it
on
out.
it? Do I get any pull mod because we're blood bonded?
I'll drop the difficulty to 5, sure.
4 successes.
You'll pick up pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
so it's just like a tap, tap, tap this is bullshit.
Okay.
And she just continues to hold his hand for obvious reasons now.
Is there something else the matter?
No, everything's fine. She taps her thumb on his palm. So there's no way, you said there's, you don't know, I figure, you're a Tremere. You would know if there's any way to prevent supernatural forms of eavesdropping.
The few supernatural forms of eavesdropping I'm aware of are particularly difficult and particularly unstoppable unless you're equally powerful in the same forms of eavesdropping.
Okay. Do you think Naomi might know anything about this that you don't, or is this, again, I'm new to all this, so...
Potentially on the eavesdropping side, but not necessarily on the defending side.
All right. Well, I don't know. I think my report pretty much covered everything of interest that I would have to say. Tap, tap, tap. But you make me feel very safe. I feel that when I'm alone with you here, like right now, I just feel very safe. Tap, tap, tap.
What did you go out for?
I just went out to feed. Tap, tap, tap.
Can I smell the blood on her in like that she's recently had?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a perception and alertness difficulty 8, reduced as needed.
Any domain dice modifier?
No.
4 successes.
Yeah.
Does it smell normal? Or does it
Smells
smell
like blood. It smells a little stronger. You can
as a
give me a
thaumaturge?
intelligence. Give me intelligence and awareness.
I think you
Difficulty
don't mean
7.
thaumaturge. I think you mean as a possessive asshole.
Intelligence, awareness, difficulty what?
7.
But it would be nice if you and I could get some real alone time, if you know what I mean. She says,
successes.
giving him
Definitely
big
feels a little
doe
more
eyes.
vampire.
in
Yeah, it's
my
definitely
room.
vampire blood.
And when she says, alone time, it would be nice if she doesn't tap her thumb on his palm. I mean, really alone. You know what I mean?
So Gabriel reaches up and just like with one finger pushes aside some of the hair, something like the bangs back around the ear.
She just gives him doe eyes. I feel so safe with you right now, she says, tapping her thumb on the palm of his hand.
and with
I feel like I could tell you anything. Tap, tap, tap.
I get it. Yes, it's
She's
understood.
just making sure because she doesn't know how bright this guy is.
No.
Lay it on thick there, Isla.
He squeezes the hand back to indicate, yes, I get it. I get it. Just sort of, does the whole like romantic hair moving, cupping chin thing, nods quietly. I mean, as quietly as you can nod.
He nods loudly.
Nods loudly.
Wow.
It's called neck cracking. It's a real problem.
Oh, upper vertebrae thing.
And reaches back, unlocks the door, opens it back up, allows Isla to step out first.
She just heads out. Everything's cool, totally normal, everything's fine.
This is about when Lysander gets back.
So Lysander comes in the door as we're leaving his room.
Yes, because I want that to happen.
No, that's great.
They don't look particularly disheveled, Lysander.
Close the door behind me. Look up, lock eyes with Lysander.
Hi, Lysander. It's good to see you again.
Your bed's very comfortable. And I stepped to one side.
He did not use your bed, Lysander. He's just being a dick.
He used your couch.
We used your floor, your closet a little bit,
The wall.
the bathroom tile.
And Naomi and Alexander are presumably discussing plans on the other side of the room.
Probably.
Yeah.
Lysander,
Alexander's the only one who takes Naomi's brand of crazy seriously.
I want to see. Hang on. I want to see how well I lied. What's a lie roll?
Manipulation and subterfuge, difficulty 6.
If Isla hadn't ruined it for you.
I
Actually,
mean-
Isla takes Naomi pretty seriously,
wanna
too.
see
She's
if I
just
can
hella
call any
distracted right now.
No,
That is
apparently,
a double botch.
apparently I didn't lie for shit.
That is a double botch. You know he is lying through his teeth, just trying to get a reaction out of you, Lysander.
That's great.
Gabriel, you're such a fucking idiot. Okay, what
It's
the
a
fuck did
good
I
thing
miss?
he's so cute, right?
Yeah, I know.
Cute? Anyway, what did I miss?
Well,
you
we're
missed
gonna.
you missed that gangrel Gabriel set on fire is watching our domain.
And the entire time she's talking, I'm shaking my head.
Okay.
And does he still have the?
Yeah,
note?
I reach over and like just show the note to him.
And
We're subtle.
and a couple of Tremere as well. So this kind of backs up what I was telling you earlier about the ritual at the lake, how the Tremere are responsible for it.
Oh. All right. I'll check in with my men to see if they see anything interesting over there.
They might have seen something interesting.
Yes.
And in the midst of the conversation Naomi's having with Alexander, probably completely out of context, there is the best lies have some truth to them.
Yes, they do.
Well, yeah.
And Gabriel, you are handed a candle.
I look at the candle.
And Naomi indicates to her painting sketch thing. I'm assuming it's a painting.
I look at.
And indicate where the candle was.
Looking at this.
Brought this back from the spirit world.
So can I looking at this ritualized setup?
That candle wasn't in this house before, was it?
No.
And holding this candle, can I make any sense of this?
Give me an intelligence and occult difficulty 7.
Lysander, I probably explain what's going on, like
Okay.
with the map,
Mm-hmm.
somewhat frantically.
Okay.
Slowly
2 successes.
coasting down.
There is no ritual of which you are aware that uses this particular layout. Putting things in circles obviously is a very common sort of ritualistic
charge
kind of activity, right? And contain and that sort of thing. And it's but it feels much more like somebody trying to come up with the idea of a very generic sort of ritually thing than anything actually specifically couched in practical usage as Gabriel would consider vampiric ritual magic.
I'll just
It's very evocative, but it's not at all practical.
On a piece of paper, I'll write. I'll just write down child's first demon summoning.
While this is happening, Lysander's going to step out to the porch because he's gonna want to call the Knuckle Draggers to see if they have any updates for him.
Okay. Yeah, phone will ring twice, and one of them will answer. Hi, boss. What's going on then?
Any updates you have for me?
Still dull as tombs up here.
It's supposed to be like South African or Australian.
All right. I had a feeling it was one of the two.
Luke is
I
Australian.
had a feeling that
Some
was
of the
going to
others
happen.
are from different places.
Show off.
Yeah, Lysander is just going to be like, had a feeling something like that was going to happen. Well, just let me know before you take your money and run if anything else pops up that I need to be aware of.
Can do.
And I'll hang up.
I'll look over at Alexander and raise a hand.
Give us, we have permission to leave. We can likely even take our own vehicles, but backup will take at least a day.
Wasn't there a we need to wait for Jimmy and the... Sorry.
But yes, we also need to wait for Ulster's to report back that we are free to go.
All right.
That's probably for the best since we have things close to home that we should be investigating anyway, says Isla. Aloud.
Lysander walks back in.
So
There's Alexander reaches into a pocket and pulls out a pen, looks around the room, looks at Naomi and mimes writing.
There's, she probably opens the box right next to where Alexander is sitting, pulls a few things out, stacks them up, straightens the stack, gives him a notebook.
He takes
Also,
the
Naomi,
notebook and
this is the first time that everybody's actually present and in the same room at your apartment.
Yes,
Wow.
I know.
he
Anyway.
takes the pen and the journal and the notebook, sets it on the ground or sets it on the table, and writes down. We should probably wait at least 4 reinforcements before we go. Period. Slides it over to Michelle. Or Michelle.
Isla.
To Isla.
Okay.
Blurb.
She
With the pen.
she just kind of she sort of takes it and takes the pen in her hand and says to everybody, so what's the plan? What are we planning to do here? And she starts writing as she awaits a response.
If
And
there
she-
is a threat to our domain, Naomi will... Actually, everyone's in the same room, why not? She'll use her audio thing and sort of text-to-speech. It would probably be beneficial if everyone's in the domain. If there is a threat to our domain, it would almost certainly be negligent of us not to have some level of presence to protect. However, if I understand the status, and Gabriel, you would know better than I, and Isla, you may as well, of these people correctly, I think that it might be presumptive to think they want our little slice of land.
I think they're watching to see whether we leave or not. I think if we leave, we'd be in terrible trouble. And she writes, they want us to stay here And then she also writes, if anyone finds out that I'm actually helping you, it's probably going to be the end of me. And then she just casually pushes the notebook toward the middle of the table.
I'll reach out, pull the notebook back. And of course, I should probably go and investigate the Chantry and all of this, see if anything
Absolutely.
unusual is happening. And as I say that, I write, if they want us to stay here, that's probably the worst decision.
She
votes.
Naomi will.
She looks down at what
She has her own
he's
notebook.
written, and then, as though responding to his speech, she says, "Absolutely, Gabriel, you're right."
I take the notebook again, and
Naomi will at this point hand everyone a notebook. This is actually genuinely bothering her.
All right.
So
There are now identical notebooks in everyone's hands,
So, along with
several flashcards.
just to shortcut this, we're carrying on a false conversation, and what we're actually saying is what we're writing.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Naomi will vocalize, not judging what clan, but if they are significantly influential players, it's very possible that our request for exception has already been noted by those players.
But what Alexander is saying out loud is that, yes, while we are here, all of us should be keeping a very close eye on very different locations within our domain. What he's writing down is Isla should be left behind to keep up appearances of us, of her not giving information away, but so that someone can actually keep an eye on the domain, period. However, those of us who are able to handle more dangerous environments should be heading to the hospital, period.
Naomi will communicate that while she can't necessarily communicate well there, she can travel quickly without actually leaving.
And
If she writes, if you're going to leave without me, make it look as though you're doing it without my knowledge.
Gabriel will write, if we leave her here and they do find out we've left, which they likely will, she's in danger.
Lysander's going to write.
At which point, Naomi
starts
starts fiddling again with the crafts project.
Okay, Lysander's going to write, someone should stay back as protection for Isla just in case.
Make sure I appear not to know that you're leaving the city.
We should all go. Domains are replaceable. People aren't.
It's not your domain.
No, it's not.
I write down. Just got word back from Jimmy. We have 1 bike and 2 cars cleared for exit south.
I write down.
I have a car now.
I write down decision time. Go, stay, and I put a check mark next to go for me.
Go.
Stay. And as things get quiet, because everyone's writing, Isla just kind of fills the space with just like chatter, just
Actually,
small talk.
yeah.
And Alexander's keeping out the
Naomi
facade
will
as well.
actually write down.
Isla, give
What
me
is
a
the
manipulation and subterfuge, difficulty 6.
Should I do the same?
Yeah.
I'm
you
also
as well.
I'm also talking. So
Okay. Well, I'll just have it from the Toreadors at this point, though.
okay.
2 successes.
Naomi will say whatever. She doesn't talk, guys. This is a really exclusive way to hold your conversation.
Okay, which subterfuge is the actual subterfuge?
Second one.
Second one.
Second one. Okay.
Actually, it's perfect.
Say-
Naomi doesn't have to worry about it. She can just
4
tell the
successes.
truth all the time.
Naomi will mention the possibility that Isla could engage in reconnaissance, go to Elysium, do things to keep an eye on the world that might benefit either party if she favors them.
And while we're keeping up this conversation, Alexander writes, I will stay. It's perhaps best that I keep working the wheels here.
Naomi will write, I could probably home alone this house if you'd like.
Lysander's going to write go, since he saw that Alexander was going to write stay, because it was either going to be him or Alexander that was going to stay.
Also, since everybody has their own little notebook now, Isla nabs Gabriel's for a second.
As I'm trying to write.
She just takes it and writes very, very small, as if to whisper. We'll need to renew our bond, and passes it back. She kind of doesn't want like everybody to be in on that part of this, but if they find out, whatever, she doesn't care. Half of them know anyway.
I'll flip the page.
More people know than Isla knows know.
Exactly, but she doesn't know that.
All right.
So
All right.
writing very tiny.
With reinforcements coming a day late, all potential power would be useful.
I write, wait a day for reinforcements and go without us.
What if too late?
There has to be a gamble somewhere.
Speeds of the essence. The
1 to
candles
7.
are going out.
Space bar. The numbers 1 to 7, and then significant space, and then the numbers 8, 9, 10.
What happened? How long between 7 and 8?
Event has a little insert mark.
She writes very
And then
clearly
little sparkly
for
lines.
everyone. I asked how I could help. He said, keep you here.
Then we go.
Yes, I'm going. The question is whether or not I'm taking my flesh back.
All right. Could use your aim. And eyes.
And I will write,
Right.
I am best in situations outside of the field of combat, comma, my aim may be true, but my voice is stronger.
We force Isla to come along.
Wait, what?
She can't.
She writes, if you force me to
without
come
it-
along, I will
without
have to
suspicion.
send for help. They will be able to see that I'm going with you. I will have to notify them.
I can keep her away from the domain while you are gone.
I actually,
Isla,
You must
Naomi
appear
just
to
has a
leave
cat
without my
smell at
knowledge.
I
You must appear to leave without my knowledge if you don't want me to give you away.
actually write down, if you give us away, we draw all of them out.
Hila wants to stay, does her best to convince us. Gabriel forces. Is his hand.
You send for... Oh, sorry.
If Isla is to remain in her cover and aid them to the best of her ability, she must remain with Gabriel, especially if she starts to draw suspicion.
And it's all right if I notify Derek that you're leaving? I'll have to.
Keep in mind that a fight is not the only possibility.
And it's also likely that they'll bring more forces
I
than
am
we
not
can handle when he goes down.
exactly. And
Treat me as though I were
capable as I
truly
might be, I'm
spying
not
for them. Treat me as though I were spying for them. Do not tell me anything you don't want them to know.
If she were truly spying on us, we would want her to not be with us when we left.
Lysander writes down, Naomi, I gave you a sniper for a reason. You'll be just fine.
She very forcefully rolls her eyes at him. If no one listens, then you cannot expect the prophet to speak well. I'm a little tired of playing Cassandra for you.
Anyone else get that reference?
I get it.
Oh, yes! It's a Greek mythology!
I Everybody.
mythology is a thing.
Virtually everybody.
You said Cassandra, and I understood the Greek mythology reference, but I went to Cassandra de Rollo.
Yeah.
that
Also,
that one I don't get.
I know Greek mythology. Gabriel, not so much.
Okay.
Intelligence and academics, difficulty 6.
Recognizable
Go.
stories about prophets, but whatever.
Intelligence, academic, difficulty 6.
Yep. Anybody who thinks their character might not get the Cassandra reference, intelligence and academics, difficulty
0
6.
successes.
I know.
Three successes for Lysander.
Yeah, you.
I know.
Lysander knows the reference. Gabriel's like, I've heard of people named Cassandra.
Gabriel has 1 dot in academics. I know he's dumb.
Lysander writes down the meaning and shows it to everybody.
Oh.
So Cassandra was this person who could tell the future, and
Troy got sacked because people weren't listening to Cassandra. And then a whole bunch of people got murdered in incest murders because people weren't listening to Cassandra.
All right.
yep.
If we're listening to Cassandra, then we don't want to leave some candles behind. 2 candles.
There are not 7 of us in the group. Sorry, I was player brain part of Jack.
I was including the cat.
Right. 6 vampires and Casper.
Uh-huh. Yeah. 7.
Totally 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
6 vampires in Serenity.
Michelle, you're muted. You're still muted.
The gesture
there
was
you go.
pretty
There
much
you go.
all you needed.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Then we go. And so I'm going, Lysander's going, Naomi's going,
And we're not telling Isla, right? We're not
and I'm
out
going,
loud anyway.
No, we're not telling Isla out loud that we're going. And we are taking Isla, but not telling Isla?
We can't take Isla and not tell Isla.
Yeah, we
No,
can.
you can't.
We can very
No, you
easily.
can't.
Okay, so
Isla,
I
we're-
need a clarification.
Isla, we're
Is
going
this
to the
in
chantry.
or
Get
out
in the
of
car.
character?
Okay, but the minute she...
Sorry.
She simplified it by writing, treat me as though I were actually spying for them. She
Yeah.
has means of contacting them, so the minute... If she were actually spying for them, the minute that you changed course and started heading somewhere else, she would be reporting.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, which is why Naomi says that if suspicion fell under Isla, she might not be left alone and might be in a situation where she couldn't report, especially given that she needs to keep up the appearances with Gabriel. Which is a thing that Naomi said in this conversation.
Yeah. That I picked it. Lots of crosstalk.
Not really.
Out loud I go, well then, I need to go to the chantry. And I stand up and
Would you like me to come with you?
let's go. Yes, in fact.
Lysander's going to rush into his room and just pick up some extra ammo just in
And I'll
case.
just put Lysander, Naomi, 1 car, Isla, me, 1 car. Velma
I'm
coming
taking-
with.
Yeah, I'm taking my own car now.
We only have two
We're only
clear.
allowed to.
We're gonna follow the rules. Fine. Okay. I'm all offended. I'm kind of sad that I don't have. All right.
Then again, the car you jacked is probably not on the approved
Yeah,
car
don't question me at all about this. This is great.
I'll write Velma with Lysander.
All right.
Well, no, I assume you just lifted here or something.
No,
Naomi's not exactly practical.
Man, ride sharing's got to be a boon for vampires.
And I'll
Oh,
go.
not for me.
Nosferatu.
So-
Once
so-
again, Naomi's kind of crazy. She's not even really sure if Velma's actually Nosferatu or if that's like her brain putting a
Gabriel's
face on
blood bond is not
something.
in danger until she's drunk from Derek at
Derek
least
2 more
twice, right?
Mhm.
And as long as she keeps renewing her blood bond with Gabriel, he can't supplant it. You can only be bound to one person at a time. So that's what she just needs to make sure that she keeps drinking from Gabriel, basically. But she has no idea. I as a player, have no idea how to do that without being caught.
I will offer Isla my arm.
She takes his arm and
take her down to the car.
Goes with him. All right.
Get in the car.
So is Naomi coming with me, or is she going with you guys?
Naomi is not going in the weird honeymoon car.
There's also
She'll go in the angst car if necessary.
I also have my motorcycle cleared, and more than one person can. 2 people can fit on a motorcycle.
I don't think Naomi's going to want to get on the motorcycle.
Alexander's also more willing to cater to Naomi's weird park a few blocks away thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of a thing.
If she's not going to be allowed to drive, she'll go with Alexander.
That's fine.
Maybe Gabriel.
Why do you think Naomi's not willing to ride a motorcycle?
Maybe Gabriel can think of this on his own, because I can't think of a way that Isla can communicate clearly with him right now. But if he appears to be sneaking the blood to her, then she could, without any appearance of trying to undermine Derek, she could drink from him if he slips her the blood seemingly furtively.
So, when we get in the car, closed doors, windows up. I've got tinted windows. Everything's up.
Same.
I just lean over and put arm around Isla like I'm going in for a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
And I bite my tongue and kiss her.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And while
good.
While I'm doing that,
Oh,
I am going into her coat pocket and trying to take the phone away from her.
Okay.
Okay. She just lets him do all of that.
All right. Isla, slightly retroactively, give me a perception and investigation difficulty 6.
Okay. This is really hard for me, not knowing what ways she might be being watched, trying to cover for everything. It's just breaking my brain in a good way. 2 successes.
You definitely noted that certain words in the note that you were delivered at the Jazz Alley were different than other ones.
Yeah, I actually noted that myself.
Okay. You haven't had time really to look into it and analyze it yet.
Yeah.
But aside from the obvious emotional nature of the poetry, there may be something else there.
So does biting my tongue and kissing her qualify as giving her a pint of blood or a point of blood?
Oh, you can give her a point of blood that way. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was the
intent. I mean, you're
That's
practicing you're baby birding her
extended-
basically.
Rather extended and
It's
deep kissing.
Yeah, French kissing. It's how it goes.
Yep.
And then
It's going to be the kind of thing you're going to want to look away from, even if you don't know she's drinking a pint of his blood.
I'm thinking about
a point, not a pint.
A point.
Jesus.
So yeah,
Would have been 6 to 8 pints of blood.
Really,
get in there.
I'm getting a little faint just thinking about that.
Get in there, making out with Isla, giving her blood, stealing phone, lean back,
So smooth, so
turn
suave.
on the car.
Give me a dexterity larceny difficulty 6 for the phone lift. Even though she's not resisting.
It's just how good does it look?
Right.
This qualifies as sleight of hand, I'm assuming.
I would say, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
3 successes.
3 successes. All right, yeah, just whoosh, in and out, man. 2 fingers.
Perceptible.
And then as I drive away, I roll down the window and fling that phone out into the street.
She had a phone for all of an hour and a half.
Once the apocalypse is over, we're taking... Hey, the girls are going phone shopping.
And I start driving south.
Yeah, Lysander's following behind.
So as we're on the road, I look over
and the instant Gabriel left, which was... Sorry, you guys were in the middle of a scene. Gabriel would have gotten a text saying Peacock Facts. Hawks can eat vegetables. Can eat both plants and animals. They eat many unusual things, occasionally including small snakes. It would be a shame for peacocks to be hungry.
I'll look at the phone. Put it in my coat pocket. I really hope Lysander doesn't say anything. And just keep driving.
And as everybody begins
that was just to Gabriel,
Yeah.
for clarification.
And as everybody begins to head south, Alexander, as you pause at a red light before you get on the interstate,
With
Your
Naomi
phone
riding with me.
with
Yeah.
Naomi riding behind you, your phone vibrates. And there's a text.
I'm a vampire. I can drive and look at the same time. So
Yeah. Also, you're stopped at a red light if you want to pull it out real quick.
yeah, I pull it out, look at it.
Safety first.
And it says, Jimmy has told me that you're headed out. Everything will be prepared when you return. JC.
Jameson Cunningham. Okay, yeah.
And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
All right.
Damn it!
Well,
I was before we left, or like while we were on the road, I was going to look over my shoulder at Naomi and just with hands. How many blocks away?
She'll just signal 3.
Okay, that's all I needed.
All right.
all right. Well, after that perplexing exchange, we have been Final Show Films. We produce a wide variety of content every day of the week. You can check us out on our website at finalshowfilms.com. You can also check us out on our website at you can also check us out on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms. If you'd like to support us financially, you can do so there. We appreciate all of our patron supporters, especially our $25 tier supporters, Chris Comfort, Antitonic, and Cat Waterflame. Thank you to all of you for donating to us. We appreciate all of you for keeping us going and keeping us on track with our patron stuff. We've passed our $100 tier, $100 a month tier, which means that our next tier is $500 a month, which is going to get Jack on the payroll. So if you want Jack to be on a payroll, tell folks to donate. We also appreciate the folks over at 411mania.com, a geek culture website that produces a wide variety of content related to geek culture interests, including wrestling, articles about wrestling, MMA, movies, music, and gaming, including all of our stuff. So go check them out. We appreciate them. Also, we just recently passed 100 subs on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Nsaku. For that, we're going to figure something 100 subs celebration thing. We're going to figure that out sometime in the future. And also, Michelle, you're doing a thing.
Yeah, but I can't remember what it is now because I have a terrible memory. Anyway, buy my books.
It was a pre-order thing for your book.
Yeah, if you pre-order the third one, you get the first 2 free. I will literally sign them and send them to you free of charge. I think that's the deal.
The first person from our channel to pre-order them and email me at finalshowfilms@gmail.com that you pre-ordered her third book, I will let Michelle know, and she'll send you some really nice stuff. So let me know. Pre-order the book. Let me know, and I will let Michelle know.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next up on the schedule tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time is Adventurers League, Storm King's Thunder episode 2. This week we will have Aaron and another player with us, as well as the returning guest stars Thea and Grebo.
I'm so happy.
Thea and Grebo. So come check that out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So check that out tomorrow morning, and we'll see you all next time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good.
All right.
You know, probably.